This is the eLearn Podcast, episode number 77.
I think there's a process that's somewhat archaic and outdated of connecting students to jobs through job boards or even internships for that matter. And it's tricky because in order for them to get jobs and to get internships, they need experience. And then where are they going to go to get that experience while they're doing school? And now we know, I think over 80% of students are working at the same time they're doing school. So it's really difficult to get them quality experience in different settings as they're working through school.
Welcome to the eLearn Podcast. My name's Laddick, and I'm your host from OpenLMS. My guests for today are Leah Jewell and Jodi McPherson, the duo behind upskills.com. That's UPSKLS.com, a service / consultancy / coaching service that aims to fill a very clear gap at the intersection between young students needing experience to join the job market and employers articulating the skills they actually need by connecting one another through projects. In this very advanced conversation, Jodi and Leah and I talk about needs assessment in the educational system, or why it seems easy to find problems, but it's a real challenge to turn that problem into evidence of a market opportunity that investors consider a worthwhile venture. We also talk about the changing landscape of the core skill sets of young people, why maybe it's not changing fast enough, but why discussions on digital badges and microcredentials are only expected to accelerate in the coming years. We also talk about why personalized one-on-one approach to understanding a young professional's expectations can be a powerful way to unlock their potential and an amazing source of truth for employers. And then finally, we talk about why Jodi and Leah believe there is a place for more agents in the educational value chain to tackle all kinds of critical issues, including apprenticeships, career management, mindsets, and mental health, and even school debt. But before we get started, a quick word from our sponsors.
The eLearning Podcast is sponsored by the eLearn Success Series, a uniquely valuable set of events that bring together sector experts and thought leaders to offer solutions to the most critical challenges and issues at the intersection of education and technology. Get your free ticket to all 4 sessions at elearnsuccessseries.com. And OpenLMS, a company that provides world-class LMS solutions that empower organizations to meet education and workplace learning needs. Learn more by visiting openlms.net.
Hello, Jodi and Leah. Welcome to the eLearning Podcast. Jodi, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Stephen?
I am fantastic. And Leah, you are on the other side of the universe from all of us, I think. No, from Jodi at this stage right now. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Yes, New Jersey is often referred to as the other side of the universe.
Hey, as someone who's lived in the Garden State, you can't, I mean, I guess you have to live there to dig on it, right? You have to live there.
It is the Garden State, though.
It is the Garden State. Really hard to get insurance for your car, but it is the Garden State. And Jodi, where do we find you sitting?
I'm in Denver, right outside of Denver, Colorado.
Denver, oh, dear to my heart, as everyone on the podcast who's listened to know, that is where I am from as well. And I love to be connected to another Coloradoan, even if they're a transplant, But Jodi and Leah, you are the co-founders of a company called Upskills. Before we dive into what Upskills is, I'd love to give you both the opportunity to just sort of give 30 seconds about yourself, where you came from, and why you decided to start this venture. Why don't we start with Jodi?
Sure. Jodi McPherson. I'm currently in Denver, but I originated from New England. I should be very clear on that. And I started my journey at NC State and got right into ed tech when I graduated, and sales at a small startup that did really well in the IT world, and just fell in love with education, fell in love with students, and then continued my career doing different things in sales, marketing, and really fell in love with product development, trying to help students have a really great experience because we know how important the landscape is for them. And so Leah and I have worked together and been friends for a long, long time, too long to mention. And